Hi, this is Fiona, and I decided to make this video about a fraudulent 20-something-year-old psychic tarot reader who is a scam and con artist. She speaks Spanish and she advertises this on her Instagram. And basically, I want to report her to the Better Business Bureau, but she isn't listed. She's a thief and a con artist, and I'm basically giving my testimony on how her business is a scam and she needs to be exposed for her high levels of usury and exploitation. So she apparently has two psychic storefronts she works at. One's in San Francisco and one's in Fairfield. And both were closed down due to the COVID. If you've been scammed by her, we could use this information to try to prevent her from scamming others by taking her to small claims court. So Carmela advertises herself on Instagram as an astrologist and psychic who uses the names Psychic Advisor Carmela and Psychic Carmela of San Francisco on her Instagram account. So she's probably changed her name again because, as soon as someone starts catching on to her, she blocks her number, she changes her name. But just don't be fooled by her. So she seemed really confident around the things she said regarding about how messed up my life was, because there was this negative energy that needed to be cleared up. And she'd make these promises that, for a better future, and that she would help me clear up all this negative energy that was holding me back from living the life I was meant to live. And I admit there were definitely some truthful bits in the communication she was giving me. But at the same time, I was also in a very vulnerable space when she reached out to me on Instagram. So basically what she did was she stalked my Instagram page and described photos that I'd posted on my page as visions that she had had about my life. And she told me that the guy I was currently with was basically dragging me down and not meant to be with me. He wasn't the person I was meant to be with. Um, and so, at the time when she first reached out to me, there were definitely signs that she was correct about my situation, but only because they were just vague enough to be reasonable. And there were a few things that didn't seem right in her reading, of my future, but the accurate parts led me to trust her more. So I guess after the first kind of initial chat that I had with her, she wanted $1,500 to clear the negative energy and block more negative people who she said would enter my life. Um, I had a devastating experience that led me to break up with my partner, and I was really in a highly emotional state and needed someone to talk to. So I was looking for a quick fix, something to make the pain go away because I was so heartbroken. And she saw how much pain I was in and used my compulsive nature to her advantage. So she basically could convince me that, giving her this money would solve my situation. So Carmela's strategy was to become my best friend and offer this like superficial level of support that seemed deep, but was basically just a game that she would kind of use that would basically get me to completely trust her and believe everything that she had to say. And she got me to feel like she was the only person who would talk to me and help me, and that she had all the answers to my problems. So, I started to trust her. I began to lower my guard, and I believed the warnings she told me. She gave me the attention that I needed, and she wanted me to act quickly so she could help me heal this energy before it was too late. And she needed the $1,500 to pay for the materials, which was basically candles and a thing of oil to put on my body for protection. So when I told her that like the price was too high, she kept lowering the price and said she would get the church to cover my expenses. She went from $1,500 to finally $600. And I met up with her in Benicia. And I remember going to the bank and getting the money for her. And my friend was like, Fiona, you're actually like going to spend $600 on a psychic that you know nothing about. She had, no online presence, no nothing. Just some woman that found me on Instagram. So I know Carmela was coming around from the Fairfield area, and she told me to pay in cash was a little bit annoying. And looking back, I see why she wanted me to pay in cash. It's because the money couldn't be traced. When I met her, she was dressed really nicely. I remember her wearing expensive clothes. She had her hair and her nails and her makeup done really well. And, I naively gave her that money. She said she would take it to the church, which was why she needed to be paid in cash. She had me write out my goals, gave me this little bottle of oil to use for protection. And, it didn't really hit me until a couple of days later when I started not feeling so horrible. And I realized that she completely took advantage of me and, the situation when I was at my lowest. And I tried to ask her for a refund, saying I was not happy with her service. I said there's no way she could have spent $600 on candles and that she was lying to me, because she basically told me that I was paying for the materials. It wasn't for the reading. She was charging me strictly based on the materials. So, I tried to tell her, I'll give her $100 for her time and troubles and the 3 calls that she did. But I wanted the $500 refunded. $600 total is a lot of money to be screwed over for absolutely nothing. And so I thought it'd be fair. I'll leave her $100 for time and troubles. Candles cost next to nothing, and so were the 3 10-minute phone conversations. And she told me, oh, you're throwing your opportunities away. And, I had purchased non-refundable materials. I tried calling her and texting her, and she completely blocked me and is using a different number now. She blocked me on Instagram. She changed her name on Instagram. So basically, the interaction with Carmela demonstrated an extreme level of usury and exploitation, and I don't want to let this charlatan get away with scamming me or others for that matter. Taking advantage of me when I was at my lowest and like in a vulnerable space is just wrong. So, the lesson is that there are people out there that have no morals and will prey upon people in vulnerable positions who are seeking advice and help. And so I think people like Carmela needs to be shut down. And this is how I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to expose her exploitation and deceitfulness. So if you've been conned by her, please let me know. I'm trying to see if there are others who have been scammed by her. And I want to take her to small claims, so she doesn't try to take advantage of people who need support and help when they're at their most vulnerable. So yeah, let me know if you know of her or if you know of her storefronts or anything like that, because I think she needs to be taught a lesson. So her name is Psychic Carmela, and Psychic Advisor Carmela. She speaks Spanish as well. And yeah,